And welcome to the United Podcast Show, ladies and gentlemen. This is where four brothers kick back, chop it up about everyday topics with their own twists and views. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you like our podcast, please subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Please submit any questions, comments, or suggestions. If you don't have nothing to say, don't say anything, but just watch the show. All right. So I'm very excited today. We have a great topic, but before that, we're going to introduce the brothers on this podcast. These are the dudes that I ride with. They mean a lot to me, and every one of them has their own story, a lot of input, and has their own character, as you will see. All right. First and foremost, I'm going to introduce his brother. His name is Eddie from the Washington Heights area, New York City. I love this brother. He's good people's. He's loved in the community. He's a great athlete. As a matter of fact, I almost saw him one day catch a football with his pinky, believe it or not. But anyway, Ed, why don't you talk to the people, man? Let them know who you are.
Thank you, Manny, for having me. Thank you for that wonderful intro. Wow. That's all I got to say. It's always a blessing to come on this show and just chop it up, like you say, with our brothers. I learn a lot from what we say here, and hopefully, the audience can also pick up anything and let's get it started.
Chime in, baby. Yeah. I'm sure
Thank you.
Welcome, can't wait for you to hear what you have to say.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's keep it moving. Next up is Charlie T. This brother's hailing from the West Coast. He's
yes, sir.
Wonderful young man.
Mm-hmm.
Known him for about 7 years now. He's cool as ice, as they say.
Yeah,
really good people. Chuck, just to the people, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Manny Mo. Love you, brothers, man. It's always wonderful to be on here. We talk about some good things, and I'm always excited. When we're here. Just being here on the East Coast it's different. I've received nothing but love. So, man, just
beautiful.
Thank you, all my brothers.
Sir.
You're welcome, Chuck.
Sounds good.
Yes,
Good.
All right, Chuck. All right.
As you all can see, this is an awesome show. This is good people here. This is very interesting, folks. And last but not least, my brother Ray. This brother comes from the motherland, the original motherland, the only motherland. He's been known to bungee jump in the River Nile.
Thank you, Manny. Listen, I'm so glad to be part of this another session of the podcast. Today's topic is a treat, and can't wait to get it on. So let's get it chopping. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's get this done.
Let's get it.
All right, guys. All right. Today's topic is a very relaxed topic. It's a very exciting topic. And it's something that everybody's going through. If you're from planet Earth, you've been going through some stuff. Some way, somehow, it has affected you. And we're going to be talking about 3 things that we've learned during this quarantine. All right. Like I said, pretty relaxed show. Feel free to call in, express your thoughts. But first, I'm going to go through the room and just pick the guys' brains and hear what they have to say. Again, it's very relaxed. Speak your mind. And then again, I'm going to repeat it. It's 3 things that you learned during this quarantine time. So 3 things that have affected you or made you a different person. So just speak freely. Let's set it off with Brother Ray. Ray, can you just touch base on what are 3 things that you learned during these times?
Okay, so thank you very much, Manny, for the introduction as well. And there's this particular topic, which is a very interesting topic. I'd like to break it down in 3 sections. From a summary, it's going to be from the top, it's going to be like limited movements related to savings in all the different sections. The second would be on the interactions that I had to go through within the COVID. And then the last one was the impact and the reevaluation in my life, right? So if I take it back to the limited movements, so one of the immediate impact on everyone, not just me, due to this pandemic is the fact that we were limited in going anywhere, right? We were, confined to our space. So that immediately had an impact on, the financial aspect of, things related to movement, going out, eating out, changing, the costs associated to dry cleaning and things of that nature because you're home. Right. There's no need to be, fancy and dressed up. You just wear your regular shirts. Obviously, if you're working from home, you can't be wearing, like a holy shirt. But at the end of the day, the amount of amount of money that you were allocating to all these activities kind of went down drastically. So there's a huge impact on the amount of money that you saved. The other thing too is the simplicity of things around the related activities. You don't really have to worry about trying to dress up or match and everything else. So everything becomes simple, more organized, less stressful, I would say as well.
Yeah.
And then the one thing I think it's interesting is the living space, right? Where even though you're confined literally 24/7 in the same space,
Right.
you got to be creative, right? Do I sit on this side of the house or this side of the apartment? How do I feel? But it's at first I gotta say it was a little bit interesting and a challenge, right? But then after a while you get used to it, you get into a rhythm, right?
Yes.
What you have to do.
Yep.
And again, it becomes around safety. One thing I realized, like, I don't have to worry about, waking up in the morning, showering and rushing to the car and then going through traffic and all that stuff.
That's like an extra hour right there.
Yeah. The one thing I do miss is that my regular morning show. I just realized, damn, I've listened to this, the radio show on the radio
Right.
on the way to the office, but that was a way of actually being able to relax before you go in. But now there's
Correct.
other ways of relaxing of getting in. So that's
Correct.
one thing. And then from an interaction perspective, this is where you have these interactions with people at work. Sometimes I think they're fake. I think it's forced. Sometimes I think it's premeditated. Where if you really want to, let's say in a career perspective, you got to move up. You got to make these conversations. You still have to do those, but it's not as fake and unrealistic as they are, right? So you can
Correct.
quickly pin the people that are either using you to have these interactions or anything else. So that I kind of like realized you don't really need them. At the end of the day, you don't really need them. So which interaction am I having? My brothers on this podcast, right? You the guys I talk to most of the time.
Yeah.
Obviously family, because you know what? There's a lot of meaningfulness in those conversations.
That's right.
I could come to you for advice. I could come to you for support, right? Even if you go outside of this circle and you go back to where it used to be, you're probably going to hear backstabbing or rate this or rate that. Not from here. So you cut all of that stuff out. You realize, okay, these are real conversations, right, that are meaningful to me, that I want to engage. I want to be engaged in these conversations because look at what happened to us. Where are we now today? Right? We've been talking about for this for quite some time, right? Every single person on this panel, we've been talking about this. But this whole COVID situation got us to a point where let's make it real. Right? So that's what I think one of the things I learned about these interactions. And last but not least is around, the evaluation of my own personal life, what I want to do, my goals, kind of reset it again. Right? We're here because of a health situation, right? So that's a big reason why we're here. So, we all took the precautions of making sure that, we use hand sanitizer, sorry. Put the face mask whenever we go out in public. So again, you're limiting, where you want to be. Do you really need to be there or not? And then, the activities in my life also kind of changed from a physical perspective. I do want to do more, but obviously I've been less. You can't even go to the gym now, but got me thinking, like, do I need to go
creative,
to the gym?
right?
Do I need to go to the gym? I could do it here. Like, do I need to follow? Would be like everyone, and again, spend money, right? Oh, still kind of tied to money. So, with that said, I would like to throw it back to you, Manny. With questions for me.
Nah, man, those are great points. I mean, you
Great.
Limited movement, interaction with fake people in the office, unneeded, really, people that you really don't know what the agenda is at the end of the day. You're being more productive. Your goals are in line. You're realizing what life is about and things that are really important. You touch some great points. I mean, you put it out there. There's not many questions I can ask. I just got inspired by all your points that you made. Let's keep it moving. Let's touch on Brother Ed. Hey, what do you have to speak on about this, man? Talk to me.
Thank you. Let me just say, Ray, thank you so much. It's funny because as you hear people answer this question, you start thinking, yeah, that's also true. That's something that I could have also learned, but but going back to the question, well, first and foremost, I just want to say that I appreciate the question because unfortunately, like a lot of people have passed away due to the COVID
Yes, sir.
virus, right? And they don't have the opportunity to answer these questions anymore. So I definitely want to say, I'm blessed to have that question. So
Indeed.
yeah, I would say that three things that I've learned, or the main three things that I've learned while I've been quarantined, amongst many others, are more focused on family and friends, my health, and financials. And I'll just speak a little bit about all of them. So family and friends, just to talk a little bit about before pre-quarantine, I would work a lot. Working in the education world, that work is never done. There's always overtime, and
And if I can just interject real quick, Eddie, I take my hat off to you because a lot of educators get, they don't get the respect that they deserve. So I just want to say that, even though most people think it, but they don't say it. I take my hat off to you, man. I respect what you do.
Sir,
Go ahead.
sir.
thank
Say
you, man. I
word.
appreciate
Yes,
that.
sir.
Thank you. And I just realized that when something just stops and you can't do anything about it, you realize, well, I didn't really need to do all that I was doing before because I'm surviving the way things are now. Whether it's financials, whether it's whatever it may be, I didn't need those extra overtime jobs. I could spend more time, maybe with family and friends, and I kind of made that a promise to myself, and I'm gonna stick, through and thin, and I'm gonna go ahead and even after we're done quarantining, I'm gonna go ahead and continue to do that and reach out, because I definitely know, and I think we spoke about this in our last podcast show. Tomorrow's never promised, so do today what you can't do tomorrow if you're not around, right?
Yes, yes.
So definitely spend more quality time with my daughter, my beautiful daughter. Just not only that, but she's a she's a teenager. And sometimes it's a little hard to communicate, but since we're here, there's moments where we can build a little bit more,
Absolutely.
just build
Yep.
and sometimes just do certain things together. My next, priority that I've learned is health. So I've become like this master chef. I cook more.
Eddie O.
I cook more.
That's
I
it.
pay attention to ingredients. I'm putting things together. I'm chopping up. And I'm also doing that with my daughter. Which is a beautiful moment, because these are the moments that people remember. Sometimes you don't remember those little. You don't think about people from your past. You remember good things. You barely remember the bad things. And those fun moments. And even if you burn something, and even if something falls on the floor after you cook it, you remember those things because it was a quality moment, quality time that you spent with your, with whoever you were doing it with.
Yeah, back to creating memories.
Yeah, just memories.
Those
At the end of the day, we
long-lasting
can.
memories.
Yes, right. At the end of the day,
we witness you, Chef Eddie O. Just on our regular Zooms, man. You
I can
in,
attest to that.
Yeah, man. You come in, you cooking steak and.
So what I'm gonna say this, and this is something you brothers can hold me to it. I'm gonna cook for you brothers one day, because I think I have little specialties here and there. So yeah, man. So we can just build and just celebrate life and another day and another moment.
Definitely.
Maybe just have conversations. And the third, my third priority that I'm going to focus a lot more on, and this is, even though I used to work a lot, I don't think I used to pay attention to the importance of saving money and investing money and putting money in the right place. It seems like the more I worked, the more I would make, but the more would go out as well on nonsense and things that I probably didn't even need.
Correct.
Now I'm focusing more on necessities, not so much wants, right?
Investing.
What do I need, not what I want. Want? You can Amazon. I want the whole Amazon, but I'm focusing more on needs and those are things that it's not like I just learned them, but I'm just focusing a little bit more on.
100%.
And I'm definitely gonna say that the mind is very powerful.
Yeah.
So whatever you set your mind to do, if wherever there's a will, there's a way, right? you know, and break away sometimes from bad routines that may not be healthy for you in your life,
Right.
you know?
Correct. Yep.
So yeah, that's where I stand as far as for,
Beautiful.
you know, things that I've learned during this quarantine time.
Cool. Thank you for sharing.
I definitely have to say
can I
we're
make an addition?
yeah.
Sorry.
Go
Of
ahead, Ray.
course,
I think
please.
Eddie, I like the way you added the words necessity. I think necessity and simplicity go together. Because, you know, all the necessities that you kind of focus on kind of rule out anything that you don't really need.
That's right.
And in a way, you're making it less complex and more simple. Yeah.
That's right.
And it's sad that a lot of the times all these big companies sell us on the things that we think we need or we think we have to have, right? It's all psychological. And this quarantine on that flip side has made us realize that it's like we don't need the brand name stuff, right? We're good. We're still living with the regular clothes, right? Yeah, it's good to have nice things, but at the end of the day, whose nice things is it? Is it yours or is it the people making that money? Go ahead, brother Chuck. What you gonna say?
Others,
You know,
Right.
right now we're all blessed, man. We all have property. You know, we all on our own, you know, townhouses, homes, and stuff like that. We all have great jobs, and we have family, we got all friends, and so we're definitely blessed. You know, just to be able to say, you know, we can work from home or just hang out with our family and just you know have our friends and our brothers, man. So there's a lot of people, like, you know, Eddie said, that, you know, that passed away and that they don't have that chance.
Correct.
So I just want to say, you know, thank you guys, love you guys, and we've grown closer.
Yep.
And
That's
you know,
one thing.
that's always, it was like I would always ask you, Manny, what's going on with Eddie? Let's see if we can get him out. He's working and working, but each time I never stop asking. So look at us now.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Chuck. Yeah, man. Yeah. And that's what I was saying before. Like, I live this. I like what we're doing here. You know, of course, you know, we want to hear from the audience, and anything the audience can, you know, can find quality in anything that we say, you know, is, you know, but yeah, you know, this is kind of like the new me, you know?
Yeah. Let me put that number out there, guys, real quick. And I should have said that at the beginning of the show, but the number is 201-771-0002. I'll say it again, 201-771-0002. So the lines are open, you know, chime in, jump in whenever you want. Let's keep it moving. The number is right below, by the way. Thank you, brother Ed. Chuck, you want to touch base on the 3 things you've learned during this quarantine?
Yes. Thank you, man. Just me working in a corporate world, working in the office, excuse me, it's different. Because you know, me physically having to be in the office, I can't now. You know, now I'm home and everyone's home, but I'm still pushing and moving, and it was a big change.
So you had to adapt, right?
I had to adapt because, you know, there's people here, you know, they have to do their work, and, you know, just the noise factor, just the whole movement that I'm not used to, me having to adapt, you know.
I hope you know those people.
I hope so too. But no, just, you know, having to, you know, find my space, my room so I could focus and pay attention to what I need to do. So, man, it was a challenge, but I overcame it. Man, my next thing was patience, man. I've never really had patience, and I had to figure it out. And just working from home, and, you know, family, and the different, like I said, different movements, the different personalities, and the noise, just everything. And I had to learn how to, you know, deal with it, and, you know, just keep moving and go, hey, I adapted to it. It's like, man, it's not easy. If you don't have patience and you have to learn it, it's not a simple learn.
It's not.
It's really not a simple learn, because you're set in your ways. You set in your ways, and if it's not going your way, what's the first emotion? You want to go, exactly. You can't do that.
Exactly.
You can't do that. So
it's not fair to them.
It's not fair. So, you know, and I definitely have to say my next one is the the whole schooling system. The kids here, they now have to adapt on home learning, which they've never had to. You know, the whole just being distracted because you got your phones, you got your laptops, you just the whole just distraction of being home.
Right.
I've never seen a kid have a phone and a laptop playing a game doing homework. What is that?
Yeah.
But that's their normal. I mean, they're used to it. This is a whole new generation that,
of course,
because
in a classroom that's not accepted. Obviously, the teacher will come in and kind of just check you real quick, but they're home. So
they're home.
Parents have to now work and also work on the kids to make sure that they're doing their work, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's a double tally on their parents.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I mean, it's just one of those things where I don't want to take too much time up, but it's we all just have to adapt. I mean, we really have to, because that's our new normal.
Yeah.
Whenever this COVID thing ever decides to end, there is no what is normal.
Yeah, right. And even getting back in the swing of things, right?
Yeah,
we try to reopen.
We have to create our new normal. So, man, I just that's it for me. I don't want to take too much time out. So.
No, you're good, brother. Thank you for sharing.
So
you're touching
like
great points.
Now
Go ahead, Ray.
No, I like to take it and turn that question to you, right? Same three questions that you asked us about what we learned during our time in COVID. I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that, of course. I mean, you guys pretty much. I mean, number one, we're in tune with each other. But full transparency, this United podcast show was born because of COVID.
Amen.
The unity that we have as brothers, Zoom, whatever platform you're using, this has brought us together. I know I feel closer to you guys. Obviously, I have my immediate family, but when I need an out, I reach out to you guys. And obviously, this United podcast show came together because of that. And I'm very grateful to you guys for doing that and putting it together, number one. For me personally, I think it made me realize how many things we take for granted, right? Going into a store, just purchasing something simple, right? Just going to a CVS or going to a Walmart or going to, just going to your local retail store and just grabbing something real quick. We take that for granted. Now we can't do that, right? Or we're limited to how we could do it, I should say, right? We got to wear a mask and the gloves and the whole shit. That's crazy for me. And then on the other thing is social interactions, right? I miss that, I like talking to people. As you guys know, I love to talk to people. I'm a talker, I miss that part of it, interacting with people, interacting with folks. And then finally, the family time, right? We take for granted, at least I did, you feel like you work many hours, you come home and you feel like they're always going to be there. So I don't need to sit down at the table. But now this COVID situation, pretty much every night I'm sitting down with my family having dinner. And it's a beautiful thing. And it really hits home when I'm like, wow, I've missed all this, chasing the dollar, trying to supposedly make things better or doing this and doing that, when in reality, it's right in front of me. And as I age and get older, I realize that family is the biggest thing that I've taken for granted with respects to time management, I guess. At the end of the day, when I'm like, nah, I just grab something on the way home. Don't worry, you guys can eat.
So
yes, sir.
Do you think that the way we've been taught, to go to school, get a job, and that's how we're making a living. That that's just stealing our time.
You're gonna make me get my gloves, brother Ray. Don't start that. You know how I feel about that.
Stealing our time.
Put them on.
And now we had a taste of how you could actually restore time back in your life.
100%.
And with time comes those experiences that I know I heard it from Manny.
Yeah.
I heard it from Eddie.
Yeah.
And I've also heard it from Charles and myself, right? That we put others before our own.
100%.
Others' jobs, how we project ourselves to be accepted versus our own.
Well, so I'm gonna finish. I got two more.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You
No,
were
you're
talking about
good.
a particular
No,
point, and I'm
no.
like, yo,
Listen,
I got to
that's
drop
like
this
a
question in
big
there.
juicy cheeseburger for me because I'm
Mm.
gonna eat it up once I finish this.
Ooh,
I got two more points real quick, and I'm gonna swing back to that question, right? Because that's my type of topic. So real quick, so the other thing for me is how we got detracted, sidetracked. You know, we got Netflix, which is a great thing. I watch Netflix, but everybody they make it a cool thing, and the reason the company becomes so big is because everybody, you know, we're like the herd, right? Netflix. So everybody, have you seen this? Have you seen that? But before you know it, you're dropping 3-4 hours of productive time, right? Or family time, or time that you could do some use in a hobby, right? You got Netflix. Um, the other thing is eating excessively. All of a sudden, you're hungry when you're really not. Oh, I'm bored. Let me go upstairs. And you're not hungry. Stop it. You know, we end up like myself. I put on an extra 15 pounds. You know, during this
more like
quarantine
20.
time. Yeah, okay, yeah, call me out. So sounds good. Um, and then finally, a lot of people, you
I'm
know, they
right
go
there
through.
with you, man. I'm right there
Yeah,
with
yeah.
I think
No,
we
I hear
all
you,
are.
brother.
I think we all are.
Man.
We all are.
We are.
Oh yeah.
And then on a more serious level, some folks, you know, not everybody has a family. Some folks live alone. You know, people go through depression. Some people just count on their jobs to interact. On the flip side, right? That annoying person that constantly talks to you, maybe they have an issue. Now they're home, right? For the most part, they don't have that out. So
Mhm.
it's so many angles that we haven't even touched. We're touching, we're expressing what we've experienced, but not really what other people are feeling. But I thought about that for a second. I said, you know, not being motivated, just being kind of down on yourself. People that live alone. So that's the other side of it that I thought about during this quarantine times. And then yeah, like I said before, family time, just conversations. The biggest thing for me is the family and interacting. You know, I have a beautiful kid that I've gotten so much closer to over these last couple of months. And I'm
Amen.
like, wow, it makes me
Amen.
realize I'm blessed, like you said, Brother Ray. I have a princess, and this little girl looks up to me more than I ever thought she did, in so many ways. And we laugh together, and she's like, you know, she's become pretty much my best friend, because she of her age now, and we can share things, and it's really hit home. So yeah, how many things we take for granted, uh, you know, how we could get sidetracked on a daily sorry,
Activities.
how we get sidetracked daily, and then family time, how valuable it is. I mean, you know, uh, time is our biggest commodity, whether you accept it or not. That's just a reality. Unless you come out with with an invention, you know, where you can rewind time. That's all we have, time. So what you do with it is the biggest thing. All right. Ray, I'm gonna go back to your question. If you don't mind repeating it for me, because I said so much, and
Sure.
that's because I have so much to say.
So it's really around the concept of time and what you just said, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we've been, I know at least my generation have been conditioned to, you know, you go to school, right after school, you go to university, college. Right after that, you get into a job. Well, you're supposed to leave the house and then you get a job, establish yourself, and then build your own. But at the same time, right, you don't own time. You know, you're always chasing something.
Yes, sir.
Right? If you're chasing your next job, you're chasing your next promotion, you're chasing your next car, or whatever it is, you always want to do something to be,
The rat race, right?
yeah. But it's nothing in terms of, to your point, investing time with the people that truly matter. Unfortunately, I didn't learn that, and you know, I didn't learn that right away, and it kind of impacted, you know, a little bit the relationship I had with my children in the beginning.
Sure.
But now, as they've grown and where they are, you
Mhm.
know, even though they, you know, the communication is still, you know, the teenagers in their 20s, well, they're in their 20s now.
Hey,
But
you have kids. Everybody go.
but you know what it is like, you know, like we, you know, I'm reaching out to them more and more,
Yeah.
and the time that I spent worrying too much about, you know, the server going down or the next project, like, you know, there was a time we were in the movie, watching you know, Cars, and then I
Mhm.
got a call, and I had to take him out of the movie theater, and I will never forget their look. Right, they looked at me like, "What are you
Are
talking
you
about?"
kidding me?
Exactly. So
Yeah,
that
this
I'm
is
sorry,
true.
I went too long, but that's the point I wanted to make.
Can I
Yeah,
can
man.
I can I say this and it might sum this up? Well, not sum it up, but this gives
Go ahead, brother.
us
Go ahead.
this whole quarantine thing gives us all a second chance at to whatever we weren't able to do. This is our moment, because this moment may never come again. If it comes again, we may not be here to see that. So this whole thing, it's nothing but a second chance at life for us to life. To hang out with our family, the times that we didn't have, or we chose to go to work or stay at work, or chose just to do anything but what we were supposed to do. So
correct.
That's it. Second chance.
Again, perspective, right?
Yep.
I mean, with all the respect to the folks that have passed away, or if you know someone that passed away, for me personally, this has been the biggest wake-up call in my life. Did you hear me? This COVID thing has woken me up from the matrix. I mean, I'm now trying to see how I can generate income without having to do the 9 to 5. That the illusion that they've put over our eyes like robots, where you go to school for 12, 13 years, whatever it is, you get a job, you get a mortgage, and you really don't enjoy life. There's so many ways. You can work the stock market. You can sell homes. You can have positive cash flow. And then that affords you to spend time at home. And now you all see on this panel how valuable that has become. Because if you can be productive from your home, help folks, we all have skills. With a little creativity, we can generate income and can afford to do that. Eddie, go ahead. I know you guys say it. Talk to me.
Oh, no. I'm just appreciating everything you guys are saying. You guys are so grounded, and you teach, and I'm listening. That's it. I feel like a student right now, because you guys are saying some really, really solid things.
I agree.
But as people talk, my mind is always going. And would it be fair to say that now that we are in this situation and we've had time to reflect and think about what's real and what's not, what we will continue, what we might not. And of course, like Chuck says, we're blessed to be able to make these decisions. There's people that cannot make these decisions. For crying out loud, there's people that don't even have a shelter to even say they're quarantining. Like there's homeless people out there. And, and those things are heartbreaking. But, and I know this may be, and if we get there, right, because we're talking about that tomorrow may not, it may not get there, but if we're working, then one day we will want to retire. Does this quarantine time help you focus on what it is that you would like your retirement to look like?
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sure.
You can go around and ask.
No. And the reason I ask is because everybody, and again, this is a non-judgmental conversation, at all. I mean, some people may say, I want a Ferrari, so I could just ride from state to state and run to casinos and do this. And some people say, no, I just want a little house and in the country area, so I could wake up with nature. And then there's people that, there's people that say, no,
Are you reading my diary?
and then there's people that say, no, I just want to spend time with, God willing, people, I just want to spend time with my grandchildren, if they have any. But it just makes me think, because I know I put a lot of things in perspective, and I narrowed down a lot of the things that I used to do that I will probably not do anymore. And if I choose to do them, it's going to be a lot more restricted and for a specific purpose. So if I do choose those overtime jobs and stuff like that, I can spend quality time maybe in vacation with my family.
Right.
For that quality time.
Right.
So you give a little bit to take a little bit. But, I guess, I'm just throwing it out on the panel. It doesn't have to be in any particular order. But do you think of retirement as being something different?
So let me take it first, because I want to show you something I wrote down on my monitor that I look at every day. Very simple. 2 words.
Manage the money.
Yep.
Always come back to the money.
To your point, Manny, right? So, if we could break out of the norm that we've been instilled, and I like that word, I'm going to imitate our brother Charles, instilled.
Yeah.
In our careers.
That's from our first episode, guys. So go back and watch that.
Yes.
Please subscribe. And if you like this video, please like it. You can subscribe to our channel. We're on social media, on Facebook. Twitter, and
Instagram.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, going back to the notion of the, you know, what we learned is instilled in us, and again, it's almost like you know, we feel like we're the rabbit and there's a carrot hanging in front of us, and we're always chasing. And even though, you know, we're able to establish things in our lives, like, you know, we're able to purchase a house and condo and everything else, but how hard did we have to work for that?
Right.
How much time did we lose? Right?
What
Just to achieve
sacrifice?
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Some people may not enjoy it. Like, you could get into this beautiful home, but if you don't have a home as in family and
Right.
everything else to enjoy it,
Yeah.
Right. What's the point?
the
Right.
only thing that you do is just like the pocket is just your money's thrown
Mhm.
out.
Going through the
Yeah.
motions.
So perspective to me has been, okay, I don't need this. I could do without this. This
Right.
I definitely need to focus on.
Mhm.
You know, many of you and I had some conversations about, you know, a couple of years what I can do.
Yes.
Right. So these are the type of conversations I think are to your point, Eddie, you know, will build the avenue, that alley towards a retirement that's going to be happy. Now, retirement nowadays is, I mean, the old retirement is you've worked and then you disappear, and then you get a house somewhere, and then you live to until your last days. That's not it. That's not the retirement. I think it's what I know about what I want my retirement to be is,
Yep.
okay, this is the last chapter in my life. This is a new chapter. What else can I do that is limitless?
Right.
So, and obviously that residual income has to help with that.
so I'll pass it on to Eddie. No, Eddie, you're the one
Yeah,
who passed
no.
it on to me. I'm sorry, we're just boomeranging.
Well, it always too goes back to your needs. Is it let me say needs or wants? For me, I've always put my need is like if I didn't need it, I would never get it. Because if I wanted it, anybody can just go out and get it, but it just be purposeless. I mean, it's like it doesn't make sense to me. If I don't need it, I'm not gonna do it.
So can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
What have you acquired in the last month that you feel you needed opposed to want?
That I ever acquired.
It could be anything. It could be minimal. The chair you're sitting on, maybe?
Yeah, chairs, shoes, but these were all needs. They weren't wants, they were needs. It's like I needed this chair because the chair I was sitting on was a bar stool.
Right.
And
But you thought about it twice, right?
I did. I thought about it, but then it was like the first thought was like I need it. The second thought was like I need it. You know, it came back to the need. Yeah.
That's funny.
What was it?
The second thought was I need
it.
I need it.
I need it.
But the shoes, you always need shoes. You always need shoes, but I always put that as a want. It's like, because if I had another pair of shoes in the closet, I don't need a new pair.
Right.
Right?
It's
So,
extra.
you know, always.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yes,
Brother
sir.
Chuck.
Yes,
Listen,
sir.
you guys are really, really, really vibing. You guys are touching great points, and you know, I'm really, really, really excited about everybody's point of view and the fact that you guys are sharing openly with our audience. And there's no second thought. This is sincere. This is United Podcast. We all, Brother Chuck, Big Ed, Brother Ray, we all speak from the heart, and we give it to you how it is. You know, there's no going around anything. We tell you how it is, whether you like it or not. But we always welcome you to chime in. So feel free to call in the lines. All right. With that being said, I'm going to take a short break and come back in a few minutes. Thank you. Welcome back. All right. We've had a great show so far. Right now, I'm going to ask a question. We spoke about the three things that we've learned during this quarantine. Everybody touched great points. But now I'm going to flip it a little bit. I'm going to ask each and every one of you guys, what are you going to do differently now? What's the one thing that you're going to do differently once we get back to normal? Brother Ed, you want to set it off?
Yeah, let's do that. The one thing that I'm going to do different is make sure
Sorry,
that
can I just take a, sorry, I didn't. I just one context maybe. Is it one thing different when we go back into the new normal, or one thing that, you know, in our own house? Like for example, like if you go back out, what's that one thing you learned that you're going to keep practicing? Just to understand.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. So once this COVID is over, all right, there's no more, you know, the virus is gone and we're back to normal. You can touch base on both, but basically, what's the one thing in your life that you're going to change because of where we are now, right? We're restricted. Everybody knows where we are. But what's the one thing you're going to change? What we're going to change once everything's back to normal, wherever it is.
So, with or without COVID, even right now, today or tomorrow, without it, I'm going to try to make sure that I spend more quality time with the people that I love. I'm going to make sure that I reach out to people, whether I'm distancing outside, whether I'm doing remote teaching, whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm still going to make sure that I find that time to do what I had time to do when I was quarantining, and maybe, you know, and reach out to people that I love, and to you, my brothers, you know what I'm saying? We'll continue to do this. Reach out more to my mom. Go visit her more. Go visit my sister more. Go do certain things, you know, because I'm a strong believer in tomorrow is never promised. And not that I live by that only, because of course there's a future. And of course you put money aside for retirement, and you do those things just in case. So it's almost like a, right? But one thing that I think that I can do more is reach out more and spend more time and take in, and maybe putting some things aside to make those efforts and showing people that you really do care and that you really do love them. So that's one thing that, regardless of what, I'm going to go ahead and continue.
Yep. I'm right in tune with you, Eddie. So, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, you guys are all going to see a lot more of me. So just know that. Because I love each and every one of you, brothers.
Yeah. Love you too,
Thank
brother.
you, man. Yeah, man. Love you too, man. Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
And I'm glad to hear that, number one. Go ahead, Brother Ray. You want to speak on that?
Sure. So to me is kind of go back to some of the reevaluation in my life. Looking at the circle, like the close circle, obviously start with your immediate family, make sure that's tight. And then expand it, obviously, and only invite the people that really, really need to, like, are going to hold that circle and like enhance it, right? Like, so, you know, because it's a bond, you know, it's family, really it's friend, right? And, you know, you don't want to, you know, it's a sacred thing, right? Not just family, but everything, but anything that's within your reach, whether it be family, whether it be your finances, whether it be the things that are really meaningful to you, right?
Yeah.
Keep it safe. And no longer should you just have anybody come in and out, because it's just too much energy. Too much energy. Definitely. You don't need to waste, you know, like if you know like this is where your state of mind is, where your tranquility, you know, your stability is, why shake it? Why try and bring in something new to the circle that is just going to create more havoc or more danger or whatever it is, right? And you know, don't let it grow anymore. Just like there's no need to grow, right?
Don't give it power, right?
Don't give it power, right? Keep it tight, keep it strong, keep it meaningful, right? And trust me, like it's been said on this call, when we're together chopping it up, it's nothing but love, fun, endless fun. We share, laugh, we cry together when we're going through some stuff. I know we're there for one of our brothers when it's down. We pick them up, right?
Yes, sir.
We don't do that to anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if we see somebody in need, we'll go help them for sure. Because I think anybody on this call would do that, right?
Of course.
But I don't think we'll expect that from anybody. But I expect that from you guys. You definitely can expect that from me.
Definitely,
Thank you.
definitely.
Yeah. Very
Appreciate
well
that,
said.
babe.
Appreciate
that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well said. Mm-hmm. Chuck from the West Coast. Talk to the people, man. What is your thoughts?
Well, my first and foremost, you know, I'm definitely going to just get to know my grandkids. I have two beautiful grandkids that, you know, my
Grandpa Chuck,
my grandson, my grandson.
Wait, you a grandpa?
That's a true blessing.
Yeah, man.
You a grandpa?
I am. I am.
God bless you, man.
You
You
know,
look like
I
you're
haven't
25.
I haven't met my grandson yet. So,
Mm.
you know, my granddaughter, she's about to be 2 years old in October. So,
Wow.
man,
What a
it's one of
blessing!
those.
What a blessing, my
Thank
brother.
you, thank you. It's just one of those things where, even traveling, it's you can't think about it. You just got to do it, and that's one of my goals. Is once this is over, I'm definitely going to get out and just go. And my mom, just because her health situation, I need and I want to
Make the
get
effort.
to make the effort, like you all said,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
call and go visit, because they're all my grandchildren and my mother, they're in California. So
Yep.
I just want to make more of an effort to get out and spend time with them, and of course all of you guys, we see more and we speak more, and
Yeah.
man, it's a given. Those are the things: the family, the friends, and just
Yeah.
that's it, man. Just the
Well
immediate
said.
people that mean something to you. All
Well
the
said.
negative energy, it's gone.
Out the window. We don't need
Cast
that.
it
Yeah.
out.
Don't
Exactly.
need
Cast
it.
it out.
Cast it out.
Cast
Exactly.
it out. Don't need it. Don't need it. I mean, we right now, man, we all have so much going for us. We don't need the negativity. It's all positive energy. Look at us. We get together. We
We
eat.
just vibe.
We
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
vibe, man. It's
Yeah, man.
just
It's
something
good
that,
stuff, man.
yeah,
And we're blessed to have each other, to be honest. A lot of people
yes,
out there,
sir.
they're alone, or they might be with a clique that doesn't big them up, doesn't, it's just you belong to a group, but you're not really.
Mhm.
Just get rid of the toxic people. Don't you're gonna eventually meet someone new. Excuse me. You're gonna meet some people that are gonna help you out. But that's so important, who you surround yourself with, right? And it's not easy. It takes time. These folks that I'm with here, it took me time, um, to come across them, and I was fortunate enough to come into their lives and and get this bond going. But if you're out there and you're alone, or you're in the wrong group, or you have no group, just take your time. But the people that you're looking for, they're there. Just if you're patient enough, it's that person in that grocery store that's always willing to help you. It's that person pumping your gas. You'll be surprised how you start a friendship. And you don't have to be best friends, but you just do the little extra. We have, we think that we have to be multi-millionaires to spread love. We don't. Just smiling to someone can make someone's day. You don't know what they're going through. Just it's unbelievable how much power we have. With that being said, everybody has touched on great points. Like I said before, I'm excited. I'm almost emotional. You guys take it to another level. Always surprise me on your words, and I'm always, even though I'm hosting, I'm always listening and learning from you guys. Um, I'm gonna wrap up the show with with this last question. I'm gonna ask you guys, what advice would you give to people that are out there alone and in need during these times? What would you tell them if you had a chance to? I mean, obviously we have a podcast, so 100 followers right now, so they are listening. Ray, what would you tell them?
Believe in humanity,
Mm.
right? That goes back to what you're saying. Like if you're in need, or reach out to somebody. You may not be able to like get to the right person at the first time, but don't give up on yourself. Don't
Mm-hmm.
give up on hope, right? There'll be some help there, right? For people that are alone, or just don't go the other way in terms of saying that your life is meaningless or is ended, right? Do that again.
Which way? Which way are you talking about?
You're the one that snapped. I'm just saying. Yeah,
I,
no,
I'm,
but in
I,
all seriousness, like, reach out. You'll never know who you're gonna walk path against or cross.
Amen.
So that's it.
What about you, Charlie T? What are we talking about? What
Man,
advice would you give someone out there who's alone, who's depressed, who has no one? All they look at is at the walls each and every day. What would you tell them? You've been blessed to have a family, a beautiful home. Now speak to them from your heart. Bring them up to speed and tell them what advice would you give them.
well, I think Ray said it perfectly. He actually said what I was going to say. Don't be afraid to reach out. Keep trying. Um, there's people out there that's listening, but you have to be willing and eager to, set your ego aside and say, hey, I need some help. Can you help me? And just keep at it, man. Keep at it. Everybody's not going to say yes. Right. So that's he hit the nail on the head, man. So,
and just to make it clear, here at United, we're not counselors, we're not therapists, but this is 8 years willing to listen to you guys.
And we're
if we can't help you, regular people, but if we can't help you, we'll point you in the right directions.
And I'll go back to what Eddie said. This is just real conversation that people are having, regardless, right? Somebody you've heard that before, or they've come to you for advice, and you've given it to them. And this is what we're doing, right? We're not the professionals, but, we have sense.
That's it. And a lot of the times, real folks touch more hearts than professionals in so many ways because it's genuine. We're not getting paid for it. It's free advice. And it's a gift that we've been given, whether it's from God, Allah, Almighty, the universe, whatever you believe in, it's something that we have in our hearts to share and to make sure that everybody's in tune with it. And it's free at the end of the day. I can stand in the corner and give free advice, and I know I'm going to get an audience because I have that kind of heart. And I'm not sending out for any kind of pat in the backs. It's just the person that I am. It's free advice. I can big you up. I can lift you up because I know what it is to be down. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I know what it is to be down. I've been down. And if I can help you, I'm here. Eddie, talk to them.
Well, let me just say that what I realized is that when people work from the heart and they're genuine, there's what people want people to do, and then there's what you should do, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to answer your question about giving some type of advice to a person who may be lonely or somebody. We've all been in a place where we felt lonely, where we felt maybe not accepted, where we felt like things aren't going the right way, or we feel anxious because tomorrow might be a big day and you might mess it up. But at the end of the day, and this takes training, and it's easier said than done, you have to try to believe in yourself and love yourself first before you try to get anything else out there. Whether it's a relationship, you got to love yourself. You got to look at yourself and say, you're the bomb. You're the best. Mm-hmm. You're bad. You're fine. You
self-esteem.
You're smart. You got to build that up, because even if you do meet somebody, you have to make sure that you believe in yourself so people can believe in you as well.
Great point.
And there's moments in life that we're going to be tested. We're going to be tested. But I'm going to tell you right now, already, if you're out there and you're listening, you're a step ahead because you're listening, and you have another opportunity to try to change things. At the end of the day, if you're given another opportunity, take it and make it better, little by little. No one's saying that was going to change overnight, because there's things that I'm working on. I'm working on certain things as well.
We're all.
Right. This is just the way human people are. But never think that you're never loved, or that you're not wanted, or that you're not important, that you're not valuable, that you can't make a change. But you got to believe in yourself, and you got to make sure that you care about yourself enough. And you just want to push and be that person. Envision yourself, something my brother Manny said, envision what could possibly be. And then you take steps on how not to make that whatever is going to be. Right?
Correct.
But yeah, just love yourself, because I'll tell you right now, the four brothers on this podcast show love you. If you want to reach out, you know how to reach us. I know Brother Manny mentioned it. Manny, that phone number again, what is it?
201-771-0002. Anytime you want to jump in, just come on down. Just call us. Again, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and obviously our YouTube channel. It's all good stuff. It's all, at the end of the day, the intent is a good conversation. Is the lines that are open, and it's all ears on our side. We always hope that you enjoy our talk. We give it to you raw, honest, and straightforward. We don't candy coat it. Whether we're talking about racism or we're talking about movies or whatever it is, whatever the topic is, we give it to you how real it is. Okay?
And same thing. Whatever comments you guys have, make sure you put them down there,
sir.
Right. So, all right, Manny. Let's wrap it home.
So with that being said, we appreciate all of you. Thank you for joining us today, the United Podcast Show. This is a great time to come in, jump in.
Thank you.
Guys, you guys, anything else to say before we leave the show?
I just want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank you, my brothers. Love you guys. And, man, each and every week, man, I look forward to it.
Let's do this. Let's
Yes,
keep
sir.
going.
Yes, sir. Let's keep it going.
Wait till the next episode. It's going to be so live. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be ridiculous. And I believe Brother Chuck is going to be hosting, so you can't.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait
Yes,
for that.
sir. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm so excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, I just want to say, if you guys have any questions, we will get back to you. So leave your comments. We'll make sure that we get back to you in a timely fashion. But we're definitely gonna listen to everybody because your words are definitely heard by us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
And if you like this video, please make sure you hit the like button. Okay.
Subscribe.
We appreciate that.
United Podcast Show.
United Podcast.
Yes,
Good night,
sir.
everyone.
Yes, sir.
Take
Night,
care.
night.
Peace out.
Love you, my
Let's get a hand of bros, guys. Let's get a hand of bros. Never one bites the dust.
Yes, sir. Love you guys. Peace.
Love you.